Like I was having a conversation with someone who does work with WWE, someone that I've known for a really long time. He is one of my mentors. He was telling me about the things that I post on Instagram. And, I post a lot of things on lingerie, me at work, dancing. I just posted a video today of me at work a year ago, dancing on the pole, just something simple. And he writes to me, he's like, you need to keep posting these things. And I'm like, are you sure? Because people are so like, oh my God, she's a stripper, blah, 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 this and that. But I think times have changed. And he was like, no, like, not only can you wrestle, but on Instagram, you're one of the, like, as a good looking person, you actually have personality. And when he said that, I thought about you, Shelly, because me and you are pretty women who also have personality. And that's why we're able to create content away from wrestling that people find interesting or entertaining. And I think that shows that both of us were meant for just more than just wrestling, if that makes sense. I think we have the kind of brains and creativity that a lot of people lack in general. And we should not stop, and we should make a ghost hunting YouTube series.
I'm so down, especially if dressing in theme. Did you get my text?
I will look now. I did. Let's see.
Yeah, is that who you're talking about? Or no?
No, I'm texting you back. Excuse me, viewers. We're going to have a chat session.
Here's the reason why I ask is because the person who I thought you were talking about, I remember when I was trying to get signed and I would talk with him because I'd see him at the whatever and like, and I remember he was like, you really need to be careful on what kind of pictures you're sending the office. And like, it was this whole thing. So that's why I found it interesting because I thought you were going to tell me he was going to tell you to take it down. And so it's so crazy how times have changed because like, ultimately,
me even coming into the business was such a big problem where I had other people in the business being like, be careful what you post, blah, blah, blah. But I will say that a lot of the person that you had mentioned likes a lot of those posts nowadays.
Exactly. But it's like, I remember it's so crazy. It was like, and I listened and like, I don't know. I'm glad, like, especially when I see different posts of like girls that are like really young in the business and they're out there doing like these really awesome creative photo shoots on their own because now they have their own Patreons or OnlyFans. Like, I'm seeing so many young female wrestlers doing that and they have really cute content, like really cute, and they're making it their own. And I'm like, that's so good for them for wrestling because it's going to give them that confidence and then give them that money that they need to get the good gear and the good makeup and just feel good, And so it's like, I'm so glad it's changed because here somebody's advising you who knows what they're talking about up there.
I think the person I'm talking about, I think he trains at the PC.
He what?
I think he also, rather than being on the show, I think he's also a trainer at the PC.
Oh, okay. So see, it's like, he knows what's up. Like, that's like, and so it's just like, to me, so cool to hear that flipped because to me, it kind of made me feel like I can't do anything outside of wrestling. And that's kind of like what was told to me. It's like, I was told, are you going to want to be a model, an actress, or do you want to be a wrestler? And like,
what's funny that you say that because the person that you had mentioned first, the night that I met him, we were at the bar, we were at the strip club, actually, a dive bar. And he like grabs his drink and he just turns to me, he goes, so do you just want to be a model or are you actually trying to wrestle? And I'm like 20 years old. I'm like 2021. I'm like, I actually want to wrestle. Here's one thing though. I will say this in regards to a lot of women taking that route, someone as between wrestling 10 years and dancing for 15 years. Okay. That's 25 years of that kind of experience together. This is the only thing that I would say. If you're going to be doing this kind of work, make sure that the wrestling is good. Good. Because then they really can't talk shit about you. Because if it does seem like when you focus on content outside of wrestling, like photo shoots, I think I'm really the only open dancer in wrestling for a long time now. But when you just focus on that type of work, OnlyFans or something, but you don't have the wrestling to make up for it, then it does look bad. Because, and I feel bad saying that because I'm sure a lot of women want to hear something different, but I'm going to be real. I'm going to be 100% real. And I know that the reason I danced for 3 years, 2 to 3 years before I started wrestling, and I kept dancing to have the time and money to train, do practice in ring in front of a crowd and take all the bookings that I could. So I didn't have to call out of work. I really wanted to be good at it. So I think that's why, otherwise, then how could I explain it? The industry has changed a bit and shifted, but with me, like, it fits me because they're like, okay, well, at least ACR made it a point to use this income and use this type of work to better herself as a wrestler, right? And become good. Now, if you are using sex work, that's what it is. It's sex work. If you're a dancer, if you're an OnlyFans, it's sex work. You don't have to be a prostitute to be considered sex work, so don't feel bad being called that. This is a FYI to anyone who watches this. If you're going to use sex work, number one, don't be broke because you're doing it wrong. You might as well get a job folding clothes at Abercrombie. Number two, use it as a means to perfect your craft and meet the people you need to meet, to make the sacrifices you need to make in wrestling to become good and get the right mentorship. And I think that's why I get away with it, because from speaking to so many of the boys and some of the chicks, I say some of the chicks because some of the chicks are not like as understanding as the boys, but they knew that I was doing what I did so that I could be the best wrestling product that I could be, the best. And I'm still striving for that to this day. I still dance. I do also have a regular job working from home. I am in college. I do a lot, but I still dance because it gives me the flexibility and the finances to become the best wrestler that I can be to this day. At the end of the day, that's why I do it. If I wasn't wrestling, I probably would not give two shits about the strip club. It is a very traumatic, like sex work is traumatic, period. We get sexually assaulted every night. I don't recommend it, but if I had a daughter that wanted to do it, fine, just do it right, right? But anyone in sex work, in wrestling, make sure you're not broke. I don't want to see you tweet or post on Facebook, hey, here's my Cash App, I need to make this money. I don't want to see that. That means you're not doing it right. That means you're not doing it right. And it's actually kind of embarrassing as someone who is a sex worker and a wrestler to see that you're still broke. It means you're not doing it right, and you should probably go work at McDonald's. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, I'm glad times have changed, but I don't want to give it so much leeway that women forget that it is a means to an end, which is becoming a great wrestling product. At least that's how I used it, and I still continue to use it. And I'm glad that my friendships and my connections in wrestling, from the independents all the way to WWE, know that they know that. And I think the person that you had mentioned, I think they know that too. They understand. And when you talk to someone of that high caliber, high status, because when you think about it, who you had mentioned is pretty, I mean, that person is close to like a Steve Austin, The Rock type character when you think about it.
Right. Yeah.
If someone like that is going to understand, it's because there's this commonality. where they share with me that they know that I just want to be the best at wrestling. I want to be good at it and I want to be respected. And that's it. That's all I want. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's what I want everybody to realize. Yeah, okay, ACR is a stripper. Okay, but why? Because she wants to give the best wrestling she can ever give at the end of the day. The end.
Absolutely.
To sum it all up, if you're thinking about going into sex work as a means to an end, I don't recommend it. It's not glamorous. There's a lot of trauma involved. And just go full clothes at the store and get a college degree. I still have my college degree and I'm still studying, so I don't have to do this anymore. But I don't recommend it. I don't.